Here we are in the expression folder. We've been working through a lot of scripts here, and recently focusing on script 35 when we make sure we get the right settings to extract our formants. But there's also a log of some sounds where no matter what you do with the settings, you can't really arrive on a good tracking. So what we want to do is manually select the formants for those words and make sure we get a good measurement of them. To do this, we're going to use script 39. So I'm going to copy this into a new script in Prot here. I'm going to run it, and I'm going to start with the first sound here, N448, saying the word beak. Now I can select any of the talkers here. I'm going to select 448, the word beak, and it's going to walk me through different time points as I try to select these formants. Now the formant settings we have on here don't actually have any impact on the output of this script. It's just to help us. So if you find that it's not helpful, it doesn't really matter. In fact, you can turn them off if you want, just to make sure you're not biased too much by it. But if you have some good settings, like here, we see that F1 and F2 are tracked pretty well, but F3 is missing. It should be right here. And instead, it's tracking the fourth format. We know this is too high because it's way too high a frequency for F3. So let's see what the script is asking us to do. It says for this talker, click on F1 for time point 1 at 0.215. So it's going to ask for 3 time points, 1, 2, and 3. Time point 1 is always going to be 0.215, and it's close to that. Now I've clicked a little bit since it popped up. When it first pops up, it's going to be right at 0.215. And so I'm going to click where I think the first formant is. And if there's a red point there, then that's, I'm just going to click right in the middle of that point. If I'm a little bit off of that timing, it doesn't really matter. All it's going to do is pull the frequency of where I clicked. So that's what I think F1 is. I'm going to click OK. It's going to move to about the midpoint of the vowel and have me still click on F1. Now the cursor right now is a little higher than it should be. I'm going to click right there, and I'll press OK for time point 2. Time point 3 is always going to be close to the end. Now here, it's a little bit too close to the end. We can see the vowels fading out. So I'm going to go backwards in time just a little bit just to get the right frequency there. And notice, I can agonize over exactly what pixel to click on, but it doesn't really matter that much if I'm off by a couple of pixels. I know that I'm right in the ballpark right here. It's not really that far off. So I'm in a good place for that one. F2, same thing. I'm going to do a little faster this time. Here's my first time point. I'll click OK. Second time point, didn't change that much. I'll click OK. Third time point, it's sort of outside the vowel, but I know that right at the end of the vowel, it ends right around here. So I'm going to click on that frequency. Now the fact that I'm a little bit off that time point doesn't matter so much. I'm just getting the formant frequency at the offset of the vowel. So I'm going to click OK for that one. And now comes the part that we're really doing this for, which is F3. Now I think that it's right here. The reason I think that is because if I click away from it for a moment, we can see that that's an extra resonance right there. And it's also right in the range that we expect F3 to be, just under 3000 Hertz. So I'm going to click back toward the beginning of the vowel, right at the frequency I think it is, press OK. Midpoint of the vowel, didn't really change much, right around there. And then at the offset, it went up by a little bit, and then I'll just click OK for that. And that's it. So it will automatically save your selections into a new little table. It's not visible to you, but it's just, it's saving it into one of our little files here. And then I can just continue running that script for any new vowel that I see. So that's what we want to do. So keep track, continue keeping track of these troublesome sounds. Now what I could do here, if I've done this, is just mark it as done. There, and I'll save that just to make sure other people aren't duplicating the work. Or you can sign out one of the sounds if you're in the middle of it. But these really shouldn't take too long. So give these a try, and then we can make sure to restore these vowels back into our data set.